the school per se for that type of assistance, but it just seems like there should be some type of, checking in with our families and that sort of thing because, I understand that's not their job, but, it's kind of like we're all family. Well, is there any aid as far as like with rental assistance or with anything like that or any that you can direct me to? Because it definitely has not felt that there is anything organized to assist. So, yes, of course. We don't have a resource center. You're talking about the Frankie Shannon Roll Human Resources Office. Yeah, 3725. I'm an elected councilwoman here in the area and they don't do assistance like that. They do like light bill, that sort of thing. I don't think they have any aid in as far as rental assistance. They do sometimes eviction assistance, but this is what always concerns me. I used to be an intake clerk for DCF that you would have to get to the point of an eviction before you can do anything. It's kind of, you know, it's a little bit of chasing, a dog chasing his tail. No, right. Yeah, this is definitely especially in our community of socioeconomically challenged communities. This is definitely a concern. Yeah, I'm definitely familiar with them as well. Yes, I live about 2 blocks over from the school. Yeah, it's past due. It's 1750, and I, I don't have it. I don't have it. I haven't worked since the week that the kids have been out of school. Please, and any type of food assistance as well, because like today they had a food drive, but you had to have a car, and I mean, I'm just saying that we can't move forward in thinking that we're doing some type of assistance when at the end of the day, who are we assisting? You have to have a car to even get the food. What about the families that don't have a car? I don't have a car. I don't have a car. Yeah, that was at Armbrister Park at the beginning of the year. I mean, beginning of the month. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I said beginning of the month. I mistaken said beginning of the year, but I meant beginning of the month. I know they had it at Armbrister Park, and I'm aware of that one that was organized as well. And there were some concerns with how that was handled. Also, just uh, you know, I think that when you have hundreds of people literally waiting and supposed to be doing social distancing, how much social distancing are we doing? So that's definitely a little bit of a concern. I think that definitely the way we should be organizing or working with our families in need are still to do some type of food assistance balances. So yeah, I'm sorry. I have another call. But yes, if we could follow up soon, that would be great. Okay. All right. Bye. Oh, from your school, they said you need to log in on a daily basis. Every day. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I guess this is starting. Ninja, where are you from? Where are you from, Ninja Lover? I see you move. No, it's not supposed to be for kids, and I already checked the thing that says. My son asked if he could show his face, but yeah, I already checked the box that said that kids aren't. This is not a kid video, so I don't want to have any restrictions. Yeah, I don't know where they came from because only two people on and I haven't. West Virginia. West Virginia. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to turn this music down a bit. So usually the middle of the afternoons are uh, I like to get into my word, get into my word and get into my book. So prayer book writing is something that I literally do every day. I aim to do it every day. And usually I am able to do it every day. But the past couple of weeks, I have to be very honest, it has been a little bit difficult for me to focus only because I am having such, uh, like, I'm having such an overwhelming opportunity to usually in my prayer book I'm writing about like these vivid dreams that I'm having and I'm doing a lot of reflection, and because of this quarantine I got to be honest, I have been able to just reflect. So oh yeah, black pill. Okay, so from what I can gather, can you hear me okay? Let me turn on my mic. Yeah, okay. So, black pill, from what I gather, and mind you, I am new to this also, and I know there might be like a little delay. So I'm gonna do some typing as well. Arkeon, do you want to type while I'm talking? That might help. All right. So Angela's here. Hey, Angela. We're MJ. We're MJ lovers over here. My son can't get on camera because he's a minor, but he was born on the 2-3, baby. So God knows what he was doing. Hey, you gotta stay out the camera. Hey. Hey. Yes, you are. You made it. Yes, you're here. Hey, Glor. Okay. So I was um, just explaining Black Pill to Ninja Lover. So Black Pill, from what I understand, is like the MGTOW, men going their own way. It is them basically, it's like it's feeding on the Matrix. The Matrix. What is that? the Matrix ideal of swallowing the red or the blue. So if they're swallowing the black pill, basically they've accepted that they're not going to be, going after these women. They're going to be basically accepting that they are, they're not a Chad or a Tyrone. This is a term that I am hearing quite often on these channels. So I'm visiting these channels, and let me tell you, this is the most I visited these, men, like, most of the people on them are men. Not all, I will say that. Most of the people on them are men. But they're like, they're all like talking about how, the Chads are the really attractive white guys, the Tyrones are the really attractive black guys. And basically, I turned my music off because it was distracting me. Because y'all, I'll just start singing. And y'all be like, Courtney is not leading these lives. We are not glowing up. She's just getting her American Idol auditions on. Yes. So they'll say like Tyrone are the really attractive black guys, Chads are the really attractive white guys, and we're not one of those. So we're accepting that. So basically, like if you swallow the black pill, you're accepting your reality. And I have been going on this other guy's channel for about the past 2 weeks. His name is Bulldog Mindset, and I love his like his energy, because he's just like, you're basically accepting that you're unattractive when that's not the case. Like, you definitely could be attractive. It's all about your confidence. So I love his mindset, but here's the gag. The guy that leads that Bulldog Mindset is like a 6 foot plus former model. And he's like, you guys just think you're unattractive, but you're not. And they're like, the people that respond to him, it's so funny. I'm always in I'm a comment queen. And they're always like, of course, you would say it's all about our, weak mindsets, because, you're like this former model. You're a total Chad, and you're telling us, hey, don't buy into this hype that we're not attractive men, because we are. But here's also the gag. I can totally agree and appreciate what he's saying, because, and I know you guys may have seen from my pictures and old videos. If you have not, please visit my other channel. I don't have any new videos on the other channel, but I just want you guys to get kind of like a history of me and the transition or the glow up. Because what I found very interesting during this journey is that some people have reached out and they've actually said to me, like you like stop doing the things that you were like doing before. Like, have you grown up? And I'm like, glowing up is something that happens internally. It's not just like, okay, physically appearance wise, I'm now dressing in these nice new clothes. And as you guys will see at the beginning of the stream, I was even on the phone with my son's counselor, as you'll see it in the playback. Not my son's the school counselor, because basically they're doing all of these check-ins with all these families and are asking, hey, what's your situation like? Just trying to make sure that everybody's kind of good. And I'm like, look, nobody's paying no bills over here. So things are not good. I'm not getting the type of work that I'm able to get when, frankly, my kids are at school. So because I'm a consultant, and so it's hard for me to do go-sees and all of that. And a lot of my projects they've stopped since this whole thing has started. So at any rate, what I'm seeing is that people may see some of my pictures from when I was modeling. I used to be a model, and I used to be a trainer. And so people see those type of pictures, they're like, oh, it's not like you're, in a better position physically or, financially than you were then. So how are you glowing up? And I'm like, trust and believe. Okay. Before I was even modeling or doing any of that, And I was, I was a booking consultant. I was a publicist. I've had a plethora of jobs, right? I was getting guys, and I was a married woman, but I was still getting suitors. I was still getting people pursuing me because it was a mindset. And I'm telling you, being married had me in a different mindset. It's different now. I've been divorced 8 years. I'm single, celibate for the past 5 years. That mindset is not the same. And redeveloping that confidence, that mindset is where the glow up is happening. So that's where the work is actually happening. Before, I was getting the benefits and I wasn't doing any work because the confidence of being married to a pretty successful, I was married to a lawyer, professor. That's what gave me my confidence. So I like just walk into a room and it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter because I knew, hey, I knew where I was going home to and who I was going home with. And so, I think that level of confidence actually brought, hey, we got 6 in here. Y'all hit those like buttons, please. Hello, we got 6 in here. Let's all make sure we're liking because this is pretty awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are Let's Glow, and Let It Glow live. And Ninja Lover, I'm getting to your question about you saying that you just learned, what a simp is. Let me tell you, that threw me. Okay, so years ago, when I was still dating in the dating world, actually in the beginning of my divorce, about 8 years ago, I dated this guy. He was he was a boxer and he was a financial advisor. So really smart dude, beautiful dude. Like the only dude with dreads I ever dated, and the shortest dude I ever dated. But at the same time, definitely as far as like handsome and swag went, he had all of that. But something that he used to always say to me was, "You're not going to have me around here looking like no sucker. You're not going to have me around here looking like no simp." And I would be like, what are you talking about? And it would be kind of crazy because he would have these outbursts in times where it would be like, if we were going to, let's say we were going to the mall or going, and actually, I remember early in our relationship, he bought me some shoes. And so we were at the mall. And when the lady was talking and she was telling me, and like I said, at this point in time, I was a trainer. So I knew my stuff. And so when she was talking, we kind of got off into our own conversation. I was just like, oh no, we have to make sure that the impact is like this because when I'm running, because I, even though I was a trainer, I've always been very shapely, I've always had, butt and all of that good stuff. And so when I'm running, certain things heavier on the knees, this was a real deal. So in the interim of me and the girl talking, I think her name was Gabby, we were cutting him off a little bit. And so when we got back to the car, and this was very early in our relationship, but this should have been a red flag. We lasted about almost a year. We were together for about 8 months. It should have been over in the beginning. But at any rate, he said to me, oh, you had me in there looking like a sucker. You're not gonna be playing me like a sucker, don't be having me looking like a simp out there. And I was just like, that term, I had never, Ninja Lover, I promise you, I had never heard that term. I had never heard that term. Mind you, I was married at 19 for 13 years, but I was with my ex-husband for 15 years. So a lot of these nuances, they were totally new to me. And this was the first guy that I had dated after being divorced. So he was like, oh, be playing me like for a simp and a sucker. And I was like, what is this? What is this? And so after him, I got into another relationship. And I was with that gentleman for 3 years. We ended up being engaged. And same. he wouldn't be like, he wasn't as aggressive as the ex-boxer was, but he was very, you could tell that his circle of friends were complete trash. Complete trash. Like, he would be talking about his friends. Basically, they would be going over to other countries to, basically cheat on their wives, and um and then he would talk about, but that, that was before he was married, but he was still engaged and he was doing this. And then he had friends, like actually friends, when we were, involved. Yes, it definitely, Brazil was one of them. Dominican Republic was another. Angela, you said it right. Hello. Yeah, and he was always talking about his friends, talking about how gorgeous these women were. And I said, these women probably weren't even gorgeous like that. It's just the fact that they were getting some cheap sex. Just stop playing games. Just stop playing games. But they like to paint these pictures. And thank you so much, Ninja Lover, saying that I explain people. Well, I'm a writer, so it's something that I thank God for the gift, and I've literally been writing my whole life. But I think I'm going to do more story times. You guys, I have been getting so many emails and so many comments on that story time video I did yesterday. If you haven't seen it yet, please, take a watch. I think I'm going to do my daughter and I were talking about this morning, and my daughter is sleeping. She's not up. Thank you, Angela. And I'm working on finishing that script. I'm telling you, I used to work for Hidden Beach in Philly when Michael Jordan owned part of it. So I'm telling you, Michael, hey, let's go around again. Okay, make an investment so I can move to Atlanta. I'm currently in Miami now. I know Ninja asked that earlier. So yeah, but these terms and these men, they're like in this kind of like a mafia, like it's like a mob. And they're just encouraging one another with all types of foolish ideas about women and what women are, what they're worth, what they're expecting, what they're into. The type of conversations were ridiculous. Let me tell you, with the gentleman that, like I said, he wasn't as aggressive, the one that I was engaged to, the one that I was with for the 3 years, but he had never been married. He had no children. And he would often just kind of, say little things to basically, kind of shame me and shade me a little bit in regards to, my, when you know what you know, but he would be trying to kind of shade it a little bit and shame it. And I'm like, wait a minute, brother, you're the one that has not been on anybody's college campus. Okay, let's not, get it twisted, other than to sell product. Okay, let's not get it twisted. He used to cook. And so when we, got together, he always liked to cook or what have you. And I was like, why don't you take this to the next level? And he was just like, what do you mean take this to the next level? Da 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 da. And I was like, why don't you make something like, solid out of it? But he's like, he had no idea how to put this together. And mind you, his mom had gone to college. His mom had a beautiful home, had a career as a stewardess, what have you. But at the same time, he did not know how to kind of elevate, right? But he would say things like, oh, he was trying to shade me, guys, because I don't drive. I don't drive. Okay. That comes as a surprise to a lot of people. But no, I don't drive. I've never owned a car. And he would just say, oh gosh, I wish you knew, how to drive. I wish you knew, I wish you could pick me up sometimes. I wish I could be the one that sits in the passenger seat sometimes. And I'd be like, bruh, are you serious right now? Are you serious? I out earned him by, $30,000. Literally. He never made over $10 an hour during the whole 3 years we were together. He went from being a radiology tech assistant to being a security guard, but he never made over $10 an hour. And mind you, I got I was in three different careers and ended up being streamlined into working for the city in the government. And with that one job, so instead of like three careers and I was out earning him because I already was, but now in this one job, I was out earning him by that same amount. And he, instead of being kind of, I don't even want to say appreciative, but instead of being like, hey, let's try to level up together, like let's try to level up together. It was just like he was just like, hey, I'm tired. I'm working a security job all night. And, I don't have time to be looking into being a, chef because I'm working a security job all night. And, it would be pretty our arguments were never heated, but they also were never productive. I mean, you get me, like they weren't going anywhere. And so, but what happens is because he's around friends that literally are basically giving him the same energy, um, they're not, one friend, I will say this, he was an insurance broker and he did give him an insurance license. He gave it to him. Like he didn't have to pay for it. And this is unheard of because years later I became an insurance broker. And the fact that he gave it to him, he didn't have to pay for it. So he could get his vending, so he could do his vending business. An opportunity that I also hooked him up with. Okay. But like I said, instead of being like, hey, invigorated with this, he was more so like, that's not what I'm into. I had started a group, an online network called Black Love Matters. And let me tell you, so I would be hosting like date nights and everything like that. And this dude, he said to me that he didn't feel like he didn't feel like that was something that was a productive use of our time. And I was like, what do you feel? What do you mean it's not a productive use of our time? We're a couple. Why not host these like couple nights? And he said, because I don't want to just be telling people, I don't want to be leading people into a relationship. He told me once, thinking about that simp word that you used, right, Ninja? He said to me, he didn't want to be that guy. And that was such a telltale conversation because I said, what is that guy? What does that mean? What is that guy? And he said, I just don't want to be that type of guy that's like, trying to tell people to get into a relationship, to do right. And that's not me. And mind you, okay, so he was in his 40s. Thank you, Ninja, right? Thank you. Okay, Ninja, I want to speak on that. Thank you. Okay, so it does keep you out of trouble. Let me tell you something. To that. I love that. And guys, let's put these. I don't know what we're gonna do. We gotta come up with a symbol to put up in the chats. Like, when someone says a point, we gotta put something that glows, like maybe a light bulb. Okay. Let's put a light bulb up in this chat room when someone says something that that really resonates. Okay. Yeah, it keeps you out of trouble. Let me tell you something. The way that I got to not driving was, thank you, Angela. Let's get these lights going. You know what we gotta do? We gotta do one of those glow parties. And thank you, Bluebird. Thank you so much. And yes, hey, Bluebird, you made it. Okay, and I have to give you all of the codes so we can, start managing and having the maintenance of the room. Thank you so much, Bluebird, for making it. That's my official moderator, guys. The way I got into not driving was, okay, so I was 16. I had my first real boyfriend. This was in Daytona, guys. This was before Philadelphia. And he would get on me because he was younger than me. He was 14, I was 16. And he would say, I'm tired of like riding my bike to your house. Can you just like, can you come see me? Can you come see me? And we didn't live that far, like driving wise, but on a bike, yeah, it was a little bit. And he was like, because I'm always sweaty and hot by the time I get to your house, you can drive to come get me, and we can go. All right. Hello, Black Lives Matter. Thank you, Ninja. Thank you so much. And so, I was like, okay. So my sister had a Honda Accord, and I was practicing. I was learning to drive. I was driving my mom's Volvo. Now, a Volvo, as you guys know, big car, big car. So that between the Volvo and my sister's Honda Accord, big difference. So one night, I had to go, to the store. My dad was home, my sister was sleeping. And so my mom was out of town with the Volvo. And so my dad's truck was there, but my dad had a stick, and the Honda Accord was there. And so I said, Dad, I need to go to the store. I want to go to the store. And he was like, okay, I'll go hour. And I was like, no, I want to drive. And he was like, well, you can't drive my car. My car's a stick. And I said, no, I want to drive Kim's car. And then he said, well, I'll come with you. And I was like, okay, I was 16. And I was like, okay. And so we, went to the store, got everything, did well. But coming out, what happened was when it was turn and my dad pulled the wheel to autocorrect. And so it overcorrected and we literally drove into the store. True story. Guys, when I tell you I got these story times on lock, they're on lock. Luckily, my dad wasn't hurt. I wasn't hurt, but I was 16. So I had just turned 16. And that's actually what kind of saved me, because had I not been 16 and I'd been driving in the state of Florida, that's a misdemeanor and it's punishable with jail time, but I had literally just turned 16. I had just turned 16 like 2 weeks prior. So my court case, remember, I graduated high school at 17. So my court case didn't happen until I was actually I was in college. It happened like the next year. And my grandmother at the time, rest in heaven, Nanny Nikki, she was a commissioner. She was very good friends with the judge that saw my case. And basically, I had to agree that I wouldn't get, I wouldn't try to get a license until I was 18. And by the time, that happened, I was at FAMU. I wasn't thinking about, driving. And then I met my, ex-husband, and it was a wrap. He drove and he didn't mind. That's all I know. And so, there were only two guys in my life that of dating and all of that had a problem with the fact that I didn't drive. And both of those guys were not the type of guys that that was one of them. They were not the type of guys that I was like, trust me, if I did drive, you'd be in trouble. Because I would driving near, and that part, this being a symbiotic relationship, that's what you're bringing to the table. The fact that you are driving and you're able to pick up my kids and that sort of thing, and driving me to work. Because if I had my own, I would be driving right out of here. But what I tell you was also interesting about what you said. So my mom does not often visit me in dreams, but she does. And most of the time when she visits me in dreams, she's driving me somewhere. My mom has been gone since, I was in my teens, my first year of college. And about 2 years later, I had a dream about her. and she was driving me. And so, like I said, I have not had a lot of dreams about her, or maybe not a lot of dreams that I remember, because of course, it is said that you forget some dreams as you, go through the night. But the dreams that I do have that I do have memory of her in, she's driving me around. And you know what? I'm cool with that. I remember telling my mom, no lie, I remember telling my mom at 10 or 11. I was before I was in my teens, before I was in middle school. Because I'm the youngest of 5. And honey, Angela, let me tell you, my mom has been a light. You talk about a glow up. So thank you for feeling sorry about her transitioning, but her transitioning allowed me to grow and glow. It really did. It really did. And I'm going to definitely share a story time about that one day, because it's a deep story. In when I felt her leave, we weren't in the same city. I felt her leave. Moms connections to their children are so powerful. I tell you, used to be like, oh, Courtney, you're not interested in driving. You're not interested in driving. And because of the fact that I had older siblings, I'm the youngest of 5, I'd be like, somebody's always going to be there. And then she's like, what happens when you grow up? And I said, oh, I'm going to be like driven around. I'm going to be chauffeured. And I kid you not, the day that Uber went like public, I like looked to the heavens and I'm like, I told you, mama, look, we made it. I'm going to be driven around. I'm cool, mom. Let me see. It says, oh, wow. That's good. That's good. Do it in video on why guys don't listen too. I think that's a great point. But I think that wow. I need that ninja, because there's someone that I have been thinking about for months now, and we could just never get on the same page. And I just think that it's kind of funny that we have not been able to reconnect. Because literally, I've known him for a decade. I've known him for as long as I've been here in Miami, and during times of our lives, we would always kind of wind up just, hey, checking back in. And now it's been a couple of years, and I'm like, where is? But you're right. I think that there is a lot to be said about why guys don't listen. But I think we need a guy to weigh in. I think a lot of guys don't listen because they really think they got the answers. And subsequently that kind of, I wasn't listening because, I felt like life. I was like, I got my life, so really not get your life. Get your life, because I got my life. And literally it was with my sisters, mostly my sisters. Definitely throughout, the times in my life, definitely tried to, because I'm youngest of 5. I have 3 older sisters and an older brother. We were the Cosby kids, guys. No kidding. We were the same ages and the same exact rundown of the Cosby kids. My oldest sister, same age as Sandra, and her name is Wanda. My second oldest sister is Kim. Her birthday is coming up on Saturday. Happy early birthday, Kimberly. She's the niece age. The age gaps and the order of the kids were the same way. So I'm Rudy, of course, and literally we're the same age. Funny story on that. I was telling somebody I was telling Mikey in my response to another comment that he made. He was like, oh, you should do more story times. And I said, you know what? When I started doing story times, I started to feel like that guy, what's his name? TP Kirkland or something. And they're like always like saying he's always on people's videos. Angela. So there were 2 guys that were making comments, right? Oh, one of them was ask a classy Black man, and I have emailed him. So I have reached out, and we're gonna perhaps follow up. And there was someone else. I don't know if you saw the exchange, but there was someone else that used to be a subscriber to his channel prior, and they were having some words. Yeah, I thought he did good work too. But the sis that used to be a subscriber, they were having some words. But I did reach out to him. And then there was another guy that's been making some comments. His name is Mikey. And I know Mikey from another chat room called Thought Crimes. Guys, if you have not heard of Thought Crimes, please check in with them. It's a really good platform because it's a married young Black couple. It's a married young Black couple. And I can't say enough of how important it is. Representation matters so much. Both our younger Black men and our younger Black women need to see us coupling, because the reality of it is we are in couples. We are coupled up. And the reality, Thought Crimes, let me write that in. So the reality of it is that we are in these so I put it up in the chat, thought crimes. But we are in couples, and we do get married more than Black guys date out. You see, what we have to start looking at are the numbers in regards to marrying and dating. They date out more than us, 3 times more than us. But marrying, we're still neck and neck. We're still neck and neck. So, exactly. Yes, Thought Crimes with the Z on the end. And so, we have got to really, kind of appreciate that. I still do appreciate the numbers. I understand that when it comes to getting married, especially second marriages, they're not in my favor, for marrying Black again, but, I'm not like totally throwing that out the window. I'm saying that, yeah, the numbers are not where I would hope. I don't have the same type of options that I had when I got married the first time. But at the first time getting married, the options, who would have thought, me? My mom used to, guys, like I said, glowers, when I tell you, my mom and I were having like deep conversations when I was 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. And I was like, it's not a big deal. Why she always like it's a big deal? But little did I know, she didn't know either, of course, but she wasn't going to be around when I was 18, 19, 20. So the conversations had to be had when I was 16, 17, 14, before even 16. We were having deep conversations. And I would just be like, look, I want to marry this type of guy. I want to go to college to get a husband. I don't really want to go to school like that. Like, and I was being real. She was like, Courtney, that's not realistic. And I was like, it's going to be for me. It's going to be for me. I gotta get married. I was like, I can't be a virgin forever, Mom. And she's like, nobody's telling you to be a virgin forever, but that doesn't need to be your goal. And I was like, yeah, no, I've got to get married because I got some work to do. I've got work to do. So, and I don't think it's by coincidence that my ex-husband's birthday and my mom's birthday, they're 4 days apart. I'm just saying. People always ask, well, Courtney, it sounds like you really have such a, nice affection for your ex-husband. Getting back together. First of all, I do not plot on married men. And I think my sister, my Denise, for reminding me of that, because there was a time, after my divorce. My ex-husband is remarried, by the way. But there was a time after my divorce where, I was just like, hey, can you help me, pray, because, basically, he was really good for me. He was great for me. He was, supportive. He wasn't as ambitious as I would have liked, but he was supportive in all the ways that I needed him to be. And I was like, can you pray? Can you pray about us? And my sister was just like, what are you talking about praying about? Because I'll pray for you to be happy and him to be happy. I'm not praying for y'all to be happy, you know. And at the time I was like, that's kind of, odd that she would even, what's she trying to say? Da 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 da. But then I'm telling y'all, the answers for sure, look in the book, because I used to have these Sunday sessions with God. I would call them my Sundates with God. And I so happened to end up in my scriptures that night, literally after she and I had this conversation. And I prayed for, closure with that. So, yeah, he's been remarried for 5 years. We've been divorced for 8. And, he is an African-American man from New Orleans. Plays the xylophone. He raps, so I've literally had a lot of thank you so much, Angela. And you're absolutely right. I wish I had my emoji so I could put on my glower. My son is looking, she wanted what was best for us. And that wasn't together. And that conversation with her really, it helped me. It absolutely helped me be able to be led in my studying and realize that. So yeah, the options may not be the same. But who would have thought, at 19, I'd be married to someone who, went on to be a lawyer and a professor and all of this good stuff. But yeah, that wasn't that our path took us where it was supposed to take us. And I absolutely believe that. Ended up down here in Miami, and he's here as well. He was a professor at University of Miami, and he is now doing law full time now. And I'm happy for that. I am happy for that because I remember when we were married, that was something that I used to really get on him about. Why don't you, why do you go to law school, and went Ivy League educated and was not using the degree, wasn't using his Juris Doctorate. And we used to get into it. And but to see him doing it now full, happy for him. I'm happy because he's brilliant guy. So to have him doing that work and knowing that he's in that purpose it's important. And he has 2 new babies in addition to our 2. So he's daddy and he's lawyering, and to all the best. So I think one of my videos that I'm going to do soon is also going to be about the last date that, the last dates that we've gone on, right? Because I see Ninja said she's been celibate for almost about a year. And wait, Ninja Lover, I was on the last Thought Crimes. I was the one with Dynas Amir. I was. Yeah, I was on there. I just wasn't commenting so much because it was too much going on. And I was actually on one, and Angela, you would have liked this. I was on one 2 days before the last one, and they were talking about The Last Dance. And mind you, I had not heard. I'm telling you, when we were in that Thought Crimes chat room on the live stream, it was before the Vlad posting where you and I met. So when we were in that live stream and they were talking about The Last Dance and what was happening on The Last Dance, I hadn't heard of this show. I was just like, anybody talking about Jordan, I'm here. I'm in here. But the last one, Ninja, that they did that I was on was the one with Dynas Amir about basically utilizing the option of Africa as a real interest as far as mobility and location of living and creating, legacy. And I love that. I'm all on that. And actually, I emailed Dynas. I went on his website and I emailed him. And trust me, I've been on that for a minute. I've been on that. Yeah, exactly. There's always a lot going on. Thank you, Angela. Yeah, I totally feel like I'm glowing up. Yeah, my son found it. Light bulbs. Hit that glow. Hit that glow. Okay. So we're winding down. I definitely wanted to engage with you guys this way. You course, thank you so much for coming. I'm gonna give it about 5 more minutes. And just and also Ninja, to answer your question. So I saw you said West Virginia, I believe. I am, so this is me. And you asked where I was, and then Angela came in the room, and then I kind of took off on my stories and on my tangents as I usually do. So I was born in Daytona Beach, but definitely went to school, of course, in Tallahassee, and then during school was when I got married to my ex-husband, who was he was in law school in. Oh no, thank you so much for coming. Thank you very much for coming. And Angela, don't leave just yet, because we're going to do an interactive challenge or interactive exercise to weigh in for our next glow, because we gonna let's glow. Let's glow. So he was in school at UPenn Law School. So I literally, the day after graduation, moved up to Philadelphia, and literally my family dropped me off at the airport. Yeah, it was hilarious. Like, I love my family. Like, they came for the graduation, and that next morning we got up early. They dropped me off at the airport. Like, okay, we got to go back to our life, and you get on up there, girl. My dad had to send me literally everything. Oh, thank you, Angela. Right? Yeah, thank you, Gloria. Because I was just like, oh no, don't leave yet. Because amen. I love y'all here. And my son is loving it too, y'all. I can tell he's excited. He sees me excited. He's excited. So y'all can't see him, but he's beautiful. He's 11, and he's everything like the ex-husband, honey. Brilliant, light bulb. He's studying to be a ninja, so he's getting me back into my training too. So he's my yoga partner. We did yoga yesterday at the yoga community class. So Angela said hi. She loves Michael Jordan too. He's gonna write to you. He's gonna write. He's on the keyboards. So yeah, so in Philadelphia was where I spent most of my adult life. And so I like to say this because, people, when I tell people I'm from Philly, it's not because I am, I wasn't born there, but I feel like Philly raised me. Total different experience. I mean, from growing up in, I feel like I was born in Daytona, but I grew up in Philadelphia. I absolutely grew up in Philadelphia. I just feel like, Philly up north has just a total different way of a perspective of seeing life. And with being down back in the South, it's been kind of difficult for me to adjust to that. The first 3 years, I was kind of just like, observing. But now that I've been here a full decade, it's like, this just, something gets very complacent about situations here that is not comfortable for me. So right now, you guys, definitely prayers going up. I know, Ninja, you asked earlier about the scriptures that I get into rather. I'm loving Amos, book of Amos right now. And if you email me, which is, the email is really simple, is group glow up. There is a glow up group, Lord, yeah. Somebody post my email address, please, in the site. wait, I think it's Group Glow Up. Okay, I got it. It's Group Glow Up at gmail.com. If we can go over my, I literally I like to do Bible studies, and we have one tonight coming up with my church, but I do online, not online, but I do with, Kadisha on YouTube. I do with Elevation with their Bible. They do Wednesday and Thursday Upper Room and Kingdom Connection. But I do one personally, like what I feel like I'm led to do. I will definitely email you some scriptures to go over because that's something that I do every day. Oh God. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Angela, yes, thank you. Please invite others. We're gonna grow this glow. We're gonna grow the glow. Glowing up is really about holding each other accountable, right? Accountability creates such a inner peace. It creates such a shine on you. And you'll notice on one of my hashtags is glow over shine, because it will create such an opportunity to really appreciate what that means when you say glow over shine, right? When things glow, it's throughout. When things shine, you mostly need that to happen in the dark, right? But that glow is brightest at dark, but it's glowing all the time. And so I just, I've been really organizing my energy behind networking and grouping up networking with positivity, because that also is a part of that glow. And so, as you guys noticed on the last episode, amen, Ninja, that's right, knowledge is power, and knowledge of self is the best. It's the best, is the most powerful thing you can ever possess, right? So yesterday, I was grading myself, right, on the F's, on friends, on fellows, on faith, and on finances. So I definitely want everyone has my email address is posted. Angela posted it and I posted it as well. My email address is there. Please, let's engage email and let me know how you're coming along. Grade yourself. I gave myself, I went over a little over my notes yesterday. And honestly, I will have to say that of all of the F's, I think I'm the best. I have been the best in, I have B's in, high C, low, high C. Yeah, a high C or low B in fellows. And that's only because, like I said, the marriage was, it didn't last forever, but it was definitely, the type of guy that I married is phenomenal. Type of guy that I married is phenomenal. And mom definitely helped. I did something right there. My dad definitely, the fact that I had good figures in regards to like what a man looked like. Dad was always compassionate, and passionate and real smart. My dad's still living. Somebody put a glow up, put a light bulb up for Richard, please. Still living, remarried. He remarried after my mom's transitioning. He lives in Arizona now, just moved, sold our house. Don't agree with that, but my dad was a great dad, y'all. I can't tell y'all enough. I tell you, when I couldn't walk at my mom's going home ceremony, my dad had to carry me. My dad had to carry me. Oh, who is that? Hey there. Okay. Well, thank you for coming, Dan. Hey, somebody put up a glow. Is that Andrea? Oh, that's Andrea. Hey, Andrea. Put up a glower. Hey there, glower. That's Andrea. She's local. We love her. Hey, Drea. So thanks for making it. So yeah, y'all. So, the fellow, I definitely, scored high in that because I had good representation of what that looks like. But the other ones I can definitely improve in. Definitely can improve in finances. Angela, holla at our boy. Let's put that energy up for MJ. If he invests in this script, we could do more with the finances. My faith is what I'm most proud of, but still definitely just knowing that, hey, he who knows, a wise man knows that he knows nothing. And so that's why I don't give myself a high grade in faith, because y'all, I have always had a great relationship with God, but I have not been faithful. I've not been faithful. So working on doing that, working on being more into um, knowing where the scriptures are, instead of just knowing of them, knowing where they are. I want to be one of those type of chicks that, like Psalm 23, Philippians, 2:3, Joshua 4:2:4. And just, I want to be able to rally them all. I'm not able to do that yet. So with my faith, I'm still, learning, and I'm still growing in that. And what was the other one? So, people were asking me too. Somebody asked me about was should family be in? Thank you, Angela. Right, right. And that's something. That's the glow up. That's the glow up. Somebody put the light bulb up for that. I'm gonna put the light bulb up for that. I'm putting the light bulb because that's something that we don't really realize in our youth, how impactful um our parents are to our lives. But they are. And um I'm going to close out on this because I know we're a little over an hour. I'm going to let y'all get back to y'all day. I'm having so much fun with y'all, though. We got to figure out what we can do, because I'm having too much fun with y'all, especially on these social distancing days. This felt really great. Thank you guys for coming in. But I'm going to close out on this note. Funny story, and Angela, you'll appreciate this. So I was on a dance team in high school. And so it was three parts of the dance team auditions. We had to, of course, learn this dance. We had to come up with our own dance, and then we had to do a character portion, right? So the character portion, oh, I was pausing. I don't know if you guys saw that. Wings and salmon. My Angela, you really are like in. Listen, every Friday I used to make buffalo wings for my son. He loves them. He loves my buffalo wings. And ramen is my favorite thing in the world to eat. Girl, we gotta talk. All right, so another time. But I got picked up by my sister, by my Denise, after the audition, and she said, because this was the last day. So the the character portion was on the last day. And she said, Courtney, how was it? How was it? And I said, oh, it was great. They went over my grades, and they saw my grades were good. And they were talking about things that I was into. And I told them how I was a candy striper and stuff like that. And then they asked me, who was my influence and why. And you know what I said. And my sister was like, who'd you say? And I was like, Michael. Jordan. And she was like, Courtney, you didn't say mom. Mom is the reason why you're even a candy striper. Mom got you that. Mom was the one who told you to be a candy striper. Da 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 da. How could you not say mom, Courtney? And I was like, how could you ruin this moment for me and Michael? Ugh. I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, mom is mom. She's not an inspiration. Y'all, I hope y'all see my face. Because Rosalind definitely. Rosalind has meant so much in my life. And like I tell my daughter and my son all the time, my mom is still teaching me. My mom is still teaching me. And, she's been gone, 23 years. 23. She's been gone 23 years from the birth. But yeah. So I get it now. I get it now. So it's Michael and Mom. So when I have my twins, Michael Jordan may be the first name, but it's gonna be Maurice and Jordan Emmett. So that's my closeout for today. So guys, remember, so that's the homework, that's the glow work, okay? Grade yourself on those F's. Friends, fellows, faith, finances, okay? And if you want to stick family in there, you can, okay? Because sometimes family and friends, they ain't the same, all right? So until next time, y'all know what to do. Keon, join me. Don't come on the screen. Glow up. Oh, and hit that bell next time, guys. Hit that bell for next time.